What's up, Rangers? Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnaz.
And this time for this joyous collectible wars, we're getting a little magical up in here. Because today, we will be going over two figures and having them fight to see who truly wins.
Now,
what's funny?
I do enjoy some magical girls, but nowhere near as much as Steve does.
I do like me some magical girl stuff. So Arnaz is like, hey, we're going to do a collectible wars day. You should bring two figures over. I'm like, okay, I'll make this interesting. So, I let Arnaz pick which one he wants to debate, which I feel like is... I finally won one of these. Godzilla won. So, I'm happy. I don't have to win any more of these. But
the thing is I watched more Sailor Moon. I know Sailor Moon. I've never finished that show. I don't even know how it ends or what happens.
So, what we have is the Figma Mami from Madoka Magica in the Magical Girl outfit. And then that one is the Ashly's Figuarts Crystal version of Sailor Moon. Now, when they first originally came out, she was about $55. She was about $30. So, starting points. This one's definitely an older figure too, which is the main reason why it was only $30 back then. I still think nowadays you can get her like pre-owned for $40-ish bucks.
So it's not bad.
Yeah, it's like a little price. Like I would say if she came out now, she'd probably be more like $60-$70.
So in she didn't go too much up in the value over the.
No, not really. None of them really did. The only two that I would say are really pricey, and that's mainly just because they're a much larger figure, and I almost brought one of those, but I didn't want to get it out of the case. To be fair, then she's my favorite, so that's the other reason I brought her. But it would have been the Ultimate Madoka or the Devil Himura, which they're more like you're probably spending upwards of like $75 to $100 to get a hold of one of those nowadays. I kind of lucked out and got a hold of one for $50 because it was the box is kind of meh. But anyways, for starters, for my argument, one, my figure is definitely the cheaper of the two. It's still more easily obtainable. Granted, this one, if you want to get it for that price, you'll have to import it. Hers you can get on Amazon still for about $55. And free shipping. So actually, after shipping, this will probably be fairly close to being about the same price.
Well, not just Amazon. I know they were at one point in time in Barnes and Nobles too.
Yeah, that would be more money. You probably spend like $65 at least.
Ooh.
Yeah, like Barnes & Noble's like my last resort if I really need to get something. Usually it's like I'll either get from like Amazon, Big Bad Toy Store, or import it. And her was a big bad one because through Bluefin she was retail.
All right, that's not bad. You know what I love about my figure, Steve? She's got great details on her. She even has earrings, her hair done really well. Translucent at the bottom, unlike yours.
That's no, technically, if I remove this little base here, which is kind of like my one selling point for this figure is, she comes with a crap ton of accessories, and you can actually display her with all her accessories up, and it looks cool and fairly appropriate for the anime. Negative is, I wish they would have used like a thin piece of plastic instead of cardboard.
I was gonna get to that. I was like, mine has a beautiful, nice little stand, unlike yours. It's just piece of cardboard thrown on top of a plastic.
Yeah, it's just normal Figma stand, but you get like the detail that you would have seen in the shot where before she.
That's my another point. You know what, Steve? You know what amazing thing is about mine? Mine hero survives. What happens to your hero?
Went down in a blaze of glory.
Blaze of glory by getting head bit off.
That's true. It's fine though. She definitely made an impact those first 3 episodes.
Yeah, how many episodes does mine have? Including the new one.
I was like, I don't even know the answer to that one. It's a lot.
It's a lot, exactly. Mine is more popular. It actually played on Toonami.
Well, to be fair, I don't know if this one could play on Toonami. Well, yeah, it probably could.
God, yeah.
But it's like, mine has the like rights issues. The reason why you don't see this one too often, because it's not easy to find.
Yeah, because it's not that popular, Steve.
It's fairly
popularity
popular.
Vote, my wins.
Well, Sailor Moon's gonna win because it's an old anime. Like almost like most of those like animes from back in our day, are like going to be popular no matter what.
Oh yeah, definitely, because that's
Like she is like the magical girl series. Well, this is like the magical girl series when you're looking for something not traditional.
I was just to bring that point up. I'm like, this is the OG of magical girls right here. This is
Now, granted, I grabbed the revised version of the OG magical girl, but I think that figure's better than the original, so that's why I grabbed that one. The only thing that really bothers me about this thing is these hideous back knee joints.
I was trying to hide those. I was gonna be like, hey Steve, look at these amazing joints right here. You can't see anything. Looks beautiful. Don't turn it around. Don't turn it around. Oh,
she
God.
has a really awesome front profile, not so much the back.
That's because she's 15 years old, Steve. God, you sicko.
Does that look like it's 15 years old to you? Be honest. Granted, I can't see. Mine's in the same category, but doesn't. She's got some assets that makes you think.
I like how all the magical girls are super young and super stacked.
Not necessarily. You know, like, depends on the series. Like, there's like Cardcaptor Sakura.
Never saw it.
I couldn't really. Like, there's like I love magical girl animes of certain ones. Like, I really got into this. I really like Sailor Moon. Kill la Kill, I almost consider a magical girl anime.
To the point, it is a magical girl anime.
She has a sailor suit and it gives her powers. It's a magical girl anime.
Yeah. Oh, we should argue that point sometimes, you know, because we are.
I don't even think it's a point. Like, that's just kind of like a known fact. But there's like certain ones like I just get into really well, and like once I get into these, because for the most part, it's not even like the girls. Like for reasons I really dig the outfits.
I would assume if I ever go to Japan and I walk by a school, I want to see all girls dressed in these outfits, nothing else.
Like this one isn't even like she's fairly tame, like compared to
Well, she's got longer
crop
legs.
top skirt. Well, yeah, she's also like it's just a bigger figure.
She's better.
But like this one's still detailed very nicely. The guns maybe could have been detailed a little bit better. Like her accessories are cool but slightly lackluster. While I do appreciate that I didn't bring it with me, but she comes with the witch that killed her.
You should
So you
never,
can pose her with that stuff.
You should never, ever, ever put in the monster that kills a character.
Oh, that's what makes her the best.
That's
like
just
I have the
wrong.
I have the Nendo droid of literally the thing coming at her.
That's just
great.
wrong.
But what's also really cool about her is if you buy the other ones in the line, you get more stuff with it.
See, that's one part I don't like. It's because they're pretty much forcing you. Oh, hey, look, you want more of this? You go buy this.
Well, it's kind of like you like the character. You're probably going to buy the other stuff anyways. Like, you buy her, and then it's like, oh, they come out with her school uniform. And the school uniform stuff, like all her faceplates, will work with this one too.
Not
so
necessarily.
it's like you don't need to buy it, but it gives you more bang for your buck if you did buy them. It's not like the Darling and the Franxx ones, where like if you bought like if you're buying 02, you kind of got to buy Strelitzia.
I was gonna bring that point up. I was like, but that's not true.
Well, these definitely like as individual figures hold up, but if you keep buying them, you get more bang for it. Well, with her, she's the only crystal we've got. Granted, the originals I don't think you get away with as well.
No, because
I think it's like you get if I would have brought the original, if you had I want to say the imposter space you could put on it if you wanted to, but it's not quite right.
No,
and then
it's each figure.
The super sailor you could do.
Like each figure is just individually for them own. You don't get anything extra by buying the other girls.
Yeah, but you still get like pretty much every accessory you really want with this one, though. It's also very posable. Like posability wise, that's where I'm like, I don't know which one would be better because I'd say, for me personally, I think this one kind of trumps her in terms of what it comes with.
Yeah, well, like her, in my personal view, her articulation and her paint job is better than Figma's.
I would generally go the other way around, but the problem is she's an older Figma, so it's
not as
like,
good as the earlier.
As like the newer ones are like a little better. Like she's still like amazing, But it's like that one's so crisp and like looks fairly accurate for the anime. Like that's easily one of my favorite figure arts. And usually figure arts isn't quite spot on. Usually, like especially like if you look at the other Sailor Moon figures, I love them to death, but there's certain like paint inconsistencies and stuff with them. While with her, you don't really get that. That's one of the reasons I grabbed her.
Well, you remember every time we talk about figure arts, we're always highly praising the Sailor Moon line is because I don't know why they put so much effort, so much accessories for cheaper.
Yeah, especially like you get like they come with like the carousel, so you even have like the hands there, so you don't really need to keep the stuff in the packaging. Now it'd be nice if there was some way you could have her like someplace to store the like her wands and stuff.
Yeah.
But what you gonna do? Well, like this one, if you really want to show it off, you can with all the other accessories. But you can also like tone it down. I could just take this all off.
You'll break it, Steve. Don't do it.
Yeah, this thing's. Anyways, partially on. As you can see, I could tone it down if I really wanted to.
I hate to say this, Steve, but I like her better without that.
I have it on there just because, like, looking at it on a shelf, it looks cool.
Well, it's like the thing. You got it, might as well display it with that. But personally, I like her better without that ugly
I wish it was
thing.
Like I would almost sit her on top of it. Is what I would do. Like I have it as like stand base, but then I kind of like the idea of you don't see the base, but then it hovers a bit, so it's like you win some, you lose some, kind of thing. Like it's cool, but
if that was like stronger cardboard, you could just kind of like make a stand out of it, just where she would stand in there. But it's not. It's just cheaper paper.
It's one of those. If I really wanted to, I would just make it. I would just buy acrylic sheets and just make my own display, which I could do pretty. Like that wouldn't even really be all that hard. Like even to replicate the design on this, won't be that difficult.
But that's just putting in too much effort.
Yeah, like if I did like a full-fledged review, my only negative would be that they use cardboard when I feel like they could have used like some kind of plastic,
but
give it some more staying power.
You got to figure that is an older Figma, like you said yourself. Nowadays, they put in a lot more effort into them.
Do they? Because you gotta remember, like this is $30, and like I got 6 guns, a stand, extra face plates, a hand.
You don't remember our Rem and Ram Figmas? So much effort, the details, the effort they put into them.
Oh yeah, with the scuffed legs, and I'm paying like almost 3 times as much money for close to the same. Because like what was it, Ram? Like Ram, I feel like you got ripped off. Like if you were comparing like Figma to Figma, like she beats Ram pretty easily. Ram's like more debatable, but she's still more.
You didn't like the knife? You got the knife and the potato, man.
Oh yeah.
What more you want?
Man, freaking tastic. When they're the same price. It's aggravating. But for me, I personally would swing towards the Mami. Like it's not quite as crisp in terms of the detailing, but it's still like if we're going like 100% awesome detailing, accuracy, she would be like a 97.
She would be 100.
She would be the 100. In terms of accessories, I would give it to her still in the end.
The question breaks
and it's
down.
more like, it's not even like, I'd say the accessories are about the same in terms of, like, I lose a little bit in terms of quality, because again, like, the guns can be painted, like, a little bit better.
Yeah, the guns have some issues.
It's like the volume you get with her.
At least
it's
the guns fit in her hand, though, you know?
Yeah, well, it's just like she holds the guns, plus she comes with a bunch of other ways of displaying them if you wanted to,
so
which is really cool.
Pretty much it comes down to the question is, do you want to pay the extra $20 for 100% or, $30 for 96%?
Yeah, that's sort of it. I think it's the best way to put it. And also it would kind of depend on like what's your personal preference.
And I think a lot more people prefer Sailor Moon just because this is played everywhere. It's more known than.
Well, I feel like where like most people would gear towards yours as in general is because Like,
It's more known.
well, it's more known that, and like, say, like you're being a dude. Which one would I want to take home just by looking at them on the shelf? Granted, I got versions of her at home. I'd much rather take home the Sailor Moon. But just by the two figures, like she, like with the long legs, like her, she's more eye-catching
Yeah.
than she is. Well, she's like way more faithful to the anime.
Like I said, like take this away. I don't know why. To me, she looks better that way now.
Probably because you just see the stuff better. There's not as much like noise with the figure.
Probably.
But let us know in the comment section below, which one do you guys prefer? Let us know down there. And then
Sailor Moon, baby.
next one, we plan on doing we're going to go over which figure is worse. That'll be the next one. Change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably do like a battle of the co-hosts is kind of what I want to do. Our abridged reviewers. I feel like we should discuss those.
At what point in time I want to do robots? So we gotta do like make a G versus Mogira or something like that. I want to be Mogira. Even though I know Mogira will lose, I want to be Mogira. My favorite robot.
If you did like Mogira versus like NECA Hong Kong Brawl Gypsy, you'd probably have a decent shot.
No. We gotta take that cardboard make a G you have. I feel like I can win against that.
But it's so big. He's like the size of a small child.
And falling apart.
He's still together. He just doesn't like to stand.
You
That's why
sneeze
it's in
on
the
him.
corner.
You sneeze on him, he falls apart.
No, he tips over. He's all wired together. He's fine. Whoever built that, like, built that thing to last. Which is impressive to say the least. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting the like. Oh yeah, there's also a t-shirt contest. Make sure to go check out that video. There'll be a card up here. That ends beginning of February. I forget what day. I think it's the 6th.
February 6th, I think it is.
Yeah, I want to say. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting the like button, subscribing, and arrange your day. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye-bye.